Well, today let's talk about propaganda, unmasked. 3 times that governments twisted the truth and got caught. So I'd like to propose a new trope. History doesn't just repeat itself, sometimes it lies first, and we believe it. Governments throughout time have mastered the art of persuasion, sometimes for noble causes, other times for control. But what happens when the mask comes off? Let's explore 3 of history's most powerful propaganda campaigns and what happened when the truth finally surfaced. Let's start with our good old friends in Germany and the Ministry of Propaganda. A few regimes in history wielded propaganda as ruthlessly and effectively as the Germans in the 30s. Led by Joseph Goebbels, the Reich Ministry of Public Enlightenment and Propaganda shaped every piece of media. Films, newspaper, radio, even children's books. Kind of sounds familiar. He once said, "If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it." They demonized Jews, glorified Hitler, and rewrote history in real time. The result? A nation mobilized for genocide, and convinced it was righteous. When Allied forces uncovered the camps, the world saw the horror propaganda had concealed. Germans were forced to walk through them, many in shock, and the outcome was an absolute reckoning. But it also raised a haunting question. How many looked away because it was easier to believe the lie? Next, let's look at our friends in the former Soviet Union in the era of Stalinist reality. In the USSR, truth was optional and often fatal. Under Stalin, propaganda it didn't just glorify the state, it erased those who opposed it. Photographs were retouched to delete purged officials. Entire famines, like the Holodomor in Ukraine, sorry for the pronunciation, were denied. So while the state painted a picture of agricultural triumph, international journalists were courted with choreographed visits and fake villages. Even Pulitzer-winning reporters like Walter Duranty echoed the Kremlin's denials. But millions starved and millions more disappeared into gulags. But the truth eventually leaked out, from defectors, from hidden letters, from survivors. But for decades, the Soviet illusion held because it was dangerous not to believe it. Got a little bug. Finally, the US government and the Gulf of Tonkin incident in 1964. The United States claimed it had been attacked twice in the Gulf of Tonkin. That second attack never happened, but it was the spark that lit the Vietnam War. President Lyndon B. Johnson used the incident to pass the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, giving him the power to escalate military action without a formal war declaration. Years later, declassified documents and first-hand accounts confirmed there was no second attack. Officials knew the evidence was shaky, but the narrative served a purpose. By the time the truth was clear, over 58,000 Americans and millions of Vietnamese had died. The war eroded public trust in government, in media, in the very idea of truth. So, in closing, propaganda works until it doesn't. Gaslighting is powerful until the light returns. The question isn't just, how could they believe it? It's, would we? Are we? Will we? Because propaganda doesn't announce itself. It tells you what you want to hear, until you forget to question it. What truths are we being sold today? Which of these stories stood out to you? Drop some thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to explore more lessons that we should have learned from the past.